Thank you so much for staying with us. Time now for To The Point. And like I have been telling you, our focus today is on the youth, okay? So on To The Point tonight, we look at the International Youth Day. It has been happening this entire week. The culmination is today. And so the theme for the International Youth Day is Green Skills for the Youth Towards a Sustainable World. And the first Youth Day was observed in 1999. This is after the UN General Assembly passed a resolution accepting the recommendation made by the World Conference of Ministers responsible for the youth in Lisbon. Let's take a look at the significance of this day. Just why is this day important? So this day is important because it offers a platform to honor the qualities of the youth and the potential that they hold towards development of the nation. It also acknowledges the challenges faced by them, the youth, their challenges, and concentrates on efforts to eliminate the issues. So this is in general, globally. So let's narrow down to our country, Kenya, and Kenya is a country of the youth, okay? This is according to the 2019 population and census results, which shows that 75% of the 47.6 million population is under the age of 35. Remember, this was 2019. We're in 2023. That means the numbers have gone up, okay? So we had 35.7 million youth as at 2019, and this is 2023. The numbers have definitely gone up. Let's go to our last slide, which takes a look at the challenges faced by the youth in Kenya. Lots of them, lots of them, but some of them are a growing population of the unemployed but educated youth, lack of capital or income generating activities. We have a strong cycle of poverty from parents to children, as well as inadequate awareness on youth intervention. So that has been To The Point tonight. Time now for our conversation. Let me see you on the other side. Right, time now for our conversation on the youth. Again, like I said, this has been the International Youth Week, So our conversation today is on the youth, And my guests are already with me in studio, Mr. Pete Oko. He's the Executive Director, Youth Safety Awareness Initiative, Crime Support. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us tonight. And of course, to my extreme left is Cynthia Kawera, a social worker and volunteer, Crime Support. Thank you so much for joining us today.
You're welcome.
All right, so I want us to start from the end, solutions. Because while as I started the program today, I told people that we'll be looking at the skills that young people, more skills that they can be equipped with to better their lives, because these people are hardworking. So that's where I want us to start. What more can we do for them?
Thanks, Grace. And I think the youth bulge is there with us. I mean, it's been long coming. From where I sit, I think we didn't plan well for it. I think we looked at it as this future thing that's going to happen at some point, and then some dynamics would happen, and then it would be solved, or it would solve itself. Apparently not. Majority of our youth are well learned. That is the basic claim. They're not doing these manual jobs because they want to. They're doing because they don't have any other option. Mm-hmm. And we have to look at the skill set that is being taken to other fields that could have been used, productively in the main lines that they studied. Now, if we go back to the youth, and the youth that I work with at Crime Support, they don't choose, they don't pick the kind of jobs they want to do. The TVs that I'm hearing us talking about lots and lots about, these are things that were there with us from when I was growing up as a young boy. Back then, I remember Thika Technical, Mawego Technical in Kisumu, the technical colleges, Kenya Polytechnic here, they were highly ranked because the artisans were coming there were highly qualified in the skill set that now we are fighting to take us back to. I think Kenya, we get it right, but I don't know what moves us from the center and developing it further. And then we digress, then we want to come back again to basically what we're talking about right now is what we saw when we were going to school, where, if you were academically inclined, the moment you reached Form 4, you'd progress to Form 6. And then the others who were technically inclined, who just wanted to do like the best building courses were offered at the Kenya Poly and the polytechnics.
Right.
You know, and then they would go there and they would come with their diplomas, but the HNDs, the higher national diplomas, were even more marketable than the bachelor degrees. So it was a balance. It wasn't that if you go to a TVET, then you're of a lower quality. No. Right now, TVETs are needed. They're needed worldwide, not only in Kenya. Do we have enough? We had made the youth believe that they were cheap jobs. Yet right now, that's the most marketable job. So I think it's something that's solvable, but we have to be consistent as a country in our approach to youth issues. Yep.
And I like what you said at the beginning, because you've reminded me of what someone said, a youth, who said that we keep saying they're the leaders of tomorrow, but tomorrow is here. Yeah, so we need to take care of them now, okay? And that's why we have you, Cynthia, because you're pretty young, my goodness. I'm not gonna say your age on national television, but I was shocked when you told me. You made me feel old, Cynthia. What can we, not we, but what can leaders of this country do to better your life as a youth?
I think the leaders of this country, first of all, they should stop telling the youths about being the leaders of tomorrow, and yet they are not like doing anything for them. The youth for today, I guess, the major reason that they are not having jobs is because most of them are learned and thinking that they'll just do this simple them. They feel like they are degrading themselves because they have done big courses. You find someone has gone to learn to do medicine, and then he doesn't get a job and ends up doing something else.
Right.
It makes that person to be demoralized. So I think the leaders of this country really need to mentor the youths and tell them like what life really is, and they should not give them false promises. They should tell them that this is how it goes and this is how it's supposed to be. Yeah.
Tell us about yourself, Cynthia. What has your experience in the job market, in this whole job hunting situation been like?
Me being Cynthia, a graduate in community development and social work at the Cooperative University of Kenya. For me, I started working with Crimes for like 1 year and 6 months right now. I started as an attachee, and I had hopes that, I knew when I finish school, I'll just immediately get a job. But then it was the opposite of it. I've stayed with Crimes People, and it has mentored me to who I am right now. And my job, I've really looked for jobs. I go to interviews, they tell you they'll contact you, they don't contact you. You apply for jobs, they don't call you. So it's made me just say, no, I'm not doing this anymore. And that's why I chose to remain in Crimes People and open my businesses. Yeah.
And is that why you founded Crimes People? Because of people like Cynthia and many more?
You know, the dynamic Cynthia is talking about, it's a totally shocking thing to me. I founded Crimes People while wrongfully convicted on death row.
Right.
And because I saw the same percentages we're talking about, 75% of the guys in prison are actually youth, young people. And many did not have right legal representation. Many did not know they were committing crimes, lack of legal awareness and stuff like that. And so when we started Crimes People on death row in committee, it was about lobbying the government to give the young people an opportunity, pathways out of crime. It was about telling young people crime is not cool. Crimes people are just this, crime is not, just that. And we got that youth-friendly word, which resonates with the young people, to be saying it wherever they were, to be living the creed that crime does not pay, crime is not cool. So when we started that at that point, it was about what opportunities can the young people have? What did we do in prison? What did the Kenya prison system have? When I went to prison in 1998, it was a torture chamber, it was a bad place. By the time I was coming out in 2016, prisons had changed and there were rehabilitative and corrective centers. We were doing activations for Crimes People from prison, but people didn't know actually. We even did one in your home country in Murang'a.
Oh, wow.
Back then, who helped us do that? The prison officers. They would get Crimes People t-shirts, go out to the field because some of us could not leave committee. And they would go and do this. So I see lots of goodwill in what Kenyans want, the young people want. I think misplaced priorities sometimes and false promises, just like Cynthia said. I've seen what she's talking about. I mean, Cynthia came in as a volunteer. she's still volunteering.
Yeah.
I'd like to have the resources to be able to employ her because top-notch, she's delivering. You know, Kajiado County, they're doing
That's
an
a good thing on your
job.
CV, Cynthia.
An amazing job. I'm so
Thank
proud
you.
of the young people at Crime Report. They're now in their hundreds, you know, for something that just started as a dream, as a prayer thing.
Wow.
And now to see the number of youth, many of them are not in employment.
Yes.
They're volunteering.
Yes.
The other day, Alliance High School called us for a day of service. And the youth came in their numbers just to go have a day of service, do things together. What did Alliance do instead? Alliance is also giving us mattresses to go donate to prisons outside. In fact, just today I was talking with the headmistress, with the deputy principal, and they're mobilizing even more mattresses for the community members who are living, you know, those challenging lives and don't have mattresses. So there's so much goodness in what the young people are going through. But just like you asked, Cynthia, my son graduated with an engineering degree in 2016.
Yeah.
Up to date, he has no job. So he has to do other things on the side. That's an electrical engineer.
Yes.
And I remember back then, engineers were, you know, they were snapped.
Oh, yes.
This is 7 years later. What are you going to tell this young person about the job market?
True.
You know, so
And why would anyone else, any other young person want to study like
exactly.
them?
Why would you want to study? And we are having lawyers, we are having doctors who are jobless.
That's true.
So we have this job market. But what I think, it's not all lost. Why don't we get them passports so that if they have those jobs and we can't absorb them, why can't we take them out? Cuba is exporting doctors there. You know, other countries are exporting workforces. Dubai needs a lot of qualified personnel. We have loads of accountants in Kenya. When we need them back and we have that capacity to absorb, we bring them back.
Right.
But let's not make, you know, the passport issue is another issue for young people. They want to get opportunities, they want to go and work hard, but they can't get passports.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's something you said that struck me. 75% of prisoners are below 30 years. I want us to talk about that, though it's not part of this conversation, but you witnessed that while you were, you know, in prison, wrongfully convicted. I mean, what was your reaction? 75%, that's huge.
Now, there's this word the young people nowadays use called kujituma. What we started in committee, we are talking about green skills today. We started the first tree nursery in a maximum security prison in committee.
Wow.
I had a 5,000 tree seedling within committee back then before I left prison. You know, if you go into committee right now, you see those big trees. Those came from our nursery. That was inside the prison, the main prison. So we were not waiting because we could not go out and work. We were doing something about it. If you go to committee, you'll see the green. Committee was not green. You know, it was all marram. We decided to plant flowers, you know, with the assistance of the late Deputy Commissioner, Commandant of Prisons College, Madam Wanini. And the reforms that were brought in by the then President Mwai Kibaki, Uncle Moody, they're called the Uncle Moody reforms.
Yes.
Everybody bought into it. The warders bought into it, the inmates bought into it, and it was a holistic transformation.
Right.
Now, these young people, many of them, actually, you meet them right now, there's some who are lawyers, there's some who are doing good things. They're doing great, amazing work out here. There's a misconception many people have that guys who come from the main prisons, you know, they have the recidivism thing, they go back to prison stuff. That's out.
Yes.
Majority of recidivism cases are short sentence inmates or guys who've been on remand, not even been convicted. Majority of the people who come from the maximum security prisons don't go back to crime. They know what it is like in
Right.
So for us, when we saw that, we started the lobby. We started telling people, let's share the message. The people who are helping us in crime reports, some right now are guys who were on death row before. They are going to schools. They're doing amazing work. Just today, I was talking to one of my mentees who was in Thika Women Prison. You know, she's down somewhere in Kigumo. And she's like, what can I do about this? Because there's so many border people here. There's so much going down in Kigumo. What can we do?
Yeah.
The young people are asking, what can they do? For us, it's about facilitating. And we need the support to facilitate.
Right.
You know, it's not like, because you'd see the big imprint, we're in 10 counties right now, the biggest counties. Because of the big imprint, people think that crime people has a lot of money. Well, actually, we're struggling. It's the goodwill of these volunteers, these young people
like
who've decided they just want to give their time and their life in service. And if Kenyans could put their resources where they believe it should be, the issues we're talking about, like, you know, alcohol and substance abuse, these young people know how to talk with their fellow young people, how to overcome it.
Talk them out
If it's about sustainable green environments and climate change, our youth in Kisumu are doing an amazing job in environmental conservation and stuff like that.
Right.
They are all placed in the right places.
Right.
Let's just give them the support.
And was that Kigumo in Murang'a?
Kigumo is in Murang'a.
My
Murang'a
goodness,
counts.
that's home. That's home. All right, Cynthia, let's get practical. I want to get to know, because Pete here has talked so well about you, actually told you that's good for your CV. Let's talk about the skills that you've garnered so far along the way. It's a year plus at Crime Support. Let's talk about those skills.
18 months, yeah?
18 months, that's a year, 6 months.
Yeah.
Working with Crime Support, basically do mentorship and counseling in prisons, in schools, society, and even in the office. And before you do those mentorship, you need to go for training. So Crime Support has made me to get leadership skills. I can be bold enough to talk to people, to talk even to older people and tell them, like, this is the way to go, because I believe that I'm already a leader. Because that's what I've gotten
You
from
are,
crime.
don't believe you are, I know you are.
From Crime Support, yes, I'm a leader. So I've gotten leadership skills, and it has helped me to be very courageous. I was that shy girl, But working with Crime Support has mentored me to become a very courageous girl. Like, I find something and I see like it's too hard for me, and then at the end of it all, I say, no, I can do this. So it has made me to be a very courageous girl and a very tough woman in life. Yeah.
She's being modest.
Oh, she is.
I think she's.
You want to tell us
this
more?
lady has done.
What she's hiding?
There are things she can't mention on national TV. She could tell you in private. But I'm so proud of what Cynthia and the team is doing. I mean, we are building leaders, and for us, Crime Support leadership is now. In fact, Crime Support is not led by Pete, it's led by these young people. Pete is just that figurehead who makes a lot of noise and runs around, to try and get resources for Crime Support to do its thing. But the real movers and shakers of Crime Support are the young, are the youth people.
Right.
And incidentally, also majority happen to be ladies.
And that's where I want us to go. The boy child, right? Because, I mean, not everyone though, but a lot of people keep saying that we spoke so much or concentrated so much on the girl child and maybe forgot the boy child.
No, to a certain
Or is it that they
extent.
don't have that, drive, like we ladies? I mean, this is where we're proud of ourselves, women power. Is that the case?
No, there's this adage, like, if you're in a hole, you should stop digging. And then when in the hole, the only way is up. So you have to get yourself out of that hole. For us guys, we were up there for the longest. But the ladies were down in the hole. So they've been punching up. They've been trying to break those ceilings and show that, hey guys, we are also here. Number two, the Constitution empowered ladies as well. Equal rights, equal opportunities, equal everything. Maybe not equal pay, I don't know. But
Hey, that's an issue.
at Crime Support, everything is equal.
Oh, wow, great.
Yeah, but yeah. So I think ladies just found it in themselves to, to grow out of that stereotype.
Yeah.
Some of us were raised by very strong women. And we saw those values. My mom passed on 4 years ago, but I still feel her values. Like, even when I go to her home, I feel there are things I can't do, there are things, that kind of thing. So I think the boy child has not been ignored per se. I agree there's a lot of concentration that has been put on the girl child, but I think it was to bring them up to par. But I think also the boy child, at a certain stage, they felt intimidated, because they were used to be the providers.
Yeah.
They were used to be, everything they had to be asked. Now, all of a sudden, this lady can buy her own house. She can pay her bills. You go to a restaurant, they say, let's split the bills. Or she'll tell you, I'll pay for you. So that control factor, which was very patriarchal, is what has been shaken. But I think as we mentor young people, they just need to know that no one is threatening their position. Everyone needs to coexist.
Right.
Everyone needs to support each other and everyone to carry on their roles. And the more we tell men that, the young boys that, the more they'll find value in what they do. I mean, if you look at the team we work with at Crime Support, the youth who volunteer, it's 50-50. When we go out, when we call them out, they find it comfortable working with Cynthia as a female leader. Cynthia will find it comfortable working with a male leader. So I think it's the models we have that have to break those stereotypes and let the boy come back and know no one is threatening him.
Right.
It's a validation thing. And even the alcoholism we're talking about in Central a lot, it's a small tool that can be handled differently. We don't need to have expensive hotels and seminars and stuff. Bring these boys, talk to them, give them opportunities, make them feel welcome and wanted. You won't see these things we're having down here.
Right. Okay. So unfortunately, my director, Nick, tells me we're out of time, but we have quite some time for our closing remarks here. And Cynthia, I want to start with you. Just on the back of what Pete was saying regarding the girl child and the boy child, that we have empowered the girl child. We wanted to bring her at par with the boy child, but she seems like she has surpassed the boy child. You can just comment on that as you give us your closing remarks.
For me, I don't go with the ideology that girl child are being prioritized more than the boy child. No, it's just that girl child we chose to end the barriers and stereotypes of like we cannot do this, and we decided that no, even men have the power. We also ladies have the power to do what they can do, and even we can do it better. So for the boy child, they don't need to be threatened, because for you to be a leader, you have to respect the other gender.
Right.
You see, for you, because when you feel you're being intimidated and you're being looked upon, you won't like respect the other gender, and you'll not rise up to be a good leader.
Right.
You know?
Okay, Pete, you get the final say. I'm told we should be out by now, but let's get, because well, we're having a pre-interview. Pete, you were talking about just how much the youth are giving. Kujituma, like you said before. Yeah. They don't just want to sit around. Wanajituma wenyewe. So let's have that as part of your closing remarks.
I just want to tell, especially the media, give the youth a platform. Bring them here to talk.
We are.
Thank
we
you.
here at TV47 are.
You're one of them.
Oh,
Bring
yes.
over your ilk. Number two, let the youth narrative be controlled by the youth. Many times we come like we are the experts about youth issues. I don't want to be an expert on youth issues. I just want to talk about my experiences with the youth. So I'll tell you one thing for free. From Crime Sipoa, on behalf of my board, on behalf of everyone who works with Crime Sipoa, the youth are here to serve, and they give their 101%. Take it from someone who works with the youth every day. Take it from someone who's appreciated that the biggest crime we have right now in Kenya is not robbery, it's sexual and gender-based violence. And majority of the youth being taken to prison are being taken on sexual and gender-based violence cases. Right now we have a case tomorrow in Kiambu of a young 17-year-old boy who's been raping students, young kids. And the parents are protecting him, not wanting this boy to go on rehabilitation. He's released. Just the other day, he's done it again.
Sure.
So parents also have to step up. And they have to know that if their kids are making mistakes, there are places the kids can be rehabilitated. Protecting these kids when they commit crimes or when they're doing drugs, and then they commit suicide in your own homes, then you consider it stigma. Suicide is a mental health issue. So let's speak out as well. I'm telling parents today, speak out. Your kids are going through hard moments, reach out to Crime Sipoa. You'll find us, our offices are in Ngara, we're in Kisumu, we're in Kajiado. Social media, Crime Sipoa everywhere. At Twitter, Crime Sipoa Kenya. Find us on our social media handles. Inboxes, our phone number is there. We answer all calls. Please reach us, let's talk about this youth thing, and invite our team as well. You can get these wonderful resource persons to come and share with your young people wherever it is, whether it's in church, in schools, and we want to thank the government for giving us the opportunity to work in the schools and the prisons as well.
Right. Okay, that's a great place to end it. Thank you so much, Pete Oko, Executive Director, Youth Safety Awareness Initiative, that is Crime Sipoa, and of course, Cynthia Kawera, social worker and volunteer at Crime Sipoa. Thank you so much for your time and your contribution. And thank you for watching and your feedback, which unfortunately, because of time, I'm not able to sample today, but I always appreciate it, right? So I'll see you again next week. Up next is Country Ride. They're with me here in studio. They're waiting for me to wrap this up so that they can join you in a few minutes. My name is Grace Korea Kanja. I'll see you again next week.